Hey there, Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here. Welcome to day 66 of our BU 365-day challenge to do one thing every day that improves us. Yesterday, we briefly touched and brushed on our conscious mind, which is only 10% of our overall mind activity. And today we're going to talk about, I'm going to try to do it quickly, but I want to make sure that I share at least 10 different techniques for controlling and taking back control of our subconscious mind. Why? Because 90% of our decisions, our choices, our feelings, our experiences, everything, 90% of our mind is on the unconscious, preconscious, subconscious level. And that means the vast majority of us, most of the time, are going through our life, going through our emotions without actually consciously thinking or being aware of it. Now, in some instances, that's really good and important. Keeps us breathing, keeps us functioning, keeps us safe. But in other instances, it keeps us stuck in cycles of insanity, doing things that maybe aren't good for us because they've worked in the past. I think of drinking too much pop instead of water, drinking too much coffee back in the day. Now I've got that under control and I drink some coffee, but I don't drink 2 pots a day because that used to be my subconscious saying, you need energy, you need energy. The best way to do it is get a cup of coffee. And so I would drink way too much coffee, way too much diet soda, etc. So our subconscious is responsible for, yesterday we talked about the conscious, it's our short-term memory, it's our limited, it's got limited capacity because it's our thinking, it thinks and plans part of our brain. Well, obviously the vast majority of what needs to function in our life isn't thinking and planning. So the subconscious takes care of everything else. It's our long-term memory storage. It stores everything we've ever experienced. Any of our senses, it stores all of that. It stores it in images and pictures. It doesn't store it as, like we like to think of words. Words are the domain of the conscious mind, but our subconscious is the part of the mind that's not currently our focus and that we're aware of, but it's operating all the time. So our long-term memory, our emotions and feelings, all of our experiences, our patterns that are developed, our instincts to keep us safe. It's all in the subconscious mind. Like I said, sometimes that's good because it's taking care of us and keeping us safe. But a lot of the time it's keeping us stuck in our comfort zone. So we're never willing to step out of it or do anything different because we've got all this evidence that is being fed to our conscious mind that tells us, no, don't do that. Don't take that risk. Don't step out of your comfort zone. Just keep doing what you've always been doing and you'll survive till the end of your life, which is okay, but do we just want to survive or do we want to thrive? So one of the best things we can learn how to do is control our subconscious mind in a way that helps us to achieve what it is that we want in our life, to get our goals and objectives. Now, everything that goes into our subconscious mind, all of the things that we experience in all of our senses is stored based on how much emotion is attached to it. So how things get stored and put away in our subconscious mind is haphazard, but it's based on urgency and important, right? Is this life-threatening? Those things get stored in a place that's easy retrievable. Is it something associated with fear, love? What are the strongest emotions? Fear, love, kindness, sex, of course. So what we want to do, and here's the other rub, negative emotions tend to be stronger than positive emotions. So more negative emotions get ranked higher and events like that get stored higher in our subconscious than in naturally than positive things that we want. So our goals might require that we get out of our comfort zone and we do some things that in the past would have seemed risky to us. And so our subconscious will shut us down and sabotage us if we don't have ways to override it. Well, how do we override our subconscious? I'm going to quickly share, as quickly as I possibly can, 10 different techniques. Some of these we've talked about. We will talk about all of them more as we go throughout the challenge so that we can go in depth into them because they're all great strategies and techniques. Now, if we want to hack our subconscious, what we want to do is we want to purposefully install and move up in the ranks of our subconscious positive emotions, positive things, and the things that we want, which would be our goals and our objectives and the desires and the things that we want in our life. So one of the things, there's several ways to do this. One, the countering technique. Whenever we think of a negative thing, we want to immediately, and I call this flip switching from Lynn Grabhorn, we want to immediately think of a positive thing and as positive a thing as we possibly can. We want to counterbalance the negatives with an extremely strong positive. So if I think I am fat and ugly, which don't even ask me where that came from. Friend, yes, but weird high school dynamics between boys and girls, right? Because we were boys and girls back then. So countering technique. If somebody says, I'm fat and ugly, we want to immediately counter that with, I am an amazing, infinite, beautiful human being, or something really the opposite, but we want to put something positive in to counter the negative. Secondly, delete, I need my magnifying glass. Delete button. I've used this one too. We can, in our imagination, in our mind, have I called it a cancel button, a cancel or delete button. Think of our computers. On our computer keyboards, there's a delete button. And whenever there's something we don't want or we don't like anymore, we highlight it, we hit the delete button, and it's gone. Poof, out of our document and out of our computer, hopefully forever. So the delete button, we think of something and it's negative, we're like, delete. We immediately say delete or cancel. Third, the burning desire. Anything we put in our subconscious with strong emotions will stick and rate higher in the rankings of our memory, right? And will give us easier access to it from a conscious standpoint when we need it. So we want to think of things that we want, and we want to visualize them, which is another technique, with clarity and detail and burning desire and emotion. If we can add the feelings of love and sex, of love and faith, believing that we can do it, and sex to it, any of those or all of those, that will help it to stick in our subconscious at a higher, easily accessible point than, getting piled in with everything else. Next is the burning bridge technique. When we make a decision and a choice, we get rid of all other options. No plan Bs. We burn our bridges, we burn the boats, and we make it so that we're in survival mode. Our brain and our subconscious thinks, okay, in order to survive, I have to make this happen. So if we can attach burning desire to our goal or passion to our goal, then that will help it stick in our subconscious. And our subconscious to rank it higher than other memories that are filed away in our brain and in our mind. Next is small wins or a progress bar. Think of a progress bar on your computer. Think of adding that progress bar when things are changing on your computer. To me, totally lowered my stress because I knew how long it was going to take to do something, so I could set myself up for that expectation. The same is true of our subconscious. We want to have small wins. It's part of why I do challenges and daily challenges. We want to have a little bitty win every day because the effects aren't individual, they're cumulative. If I do one little thing every day, I will have a huge compound effect at the end of the year, at the end of the week, at the end of the month, whatever I do every day. That's why habits are so powerful. So go ahead and be cool and create a bunch of small wins for yourself so that you can get more experiences added on to the things that you want. If I have small wins every day that reinforce the goal that I'm wanting to achieve, that is piling up evidence that this is important and urgent, and my subconscious needs to look for opportunities and look for ways to help me make that happen faster. Excuse me. Motivation technique. This is used to energize people and things. I like to do, and I do this with visualization too. It's a type of visualization. I add a lot of emotion and I put myself in the picture. I do what's called a power vision movie when I use the visualization technique, but any kind of visualization technique where you see yourself having already achieved and living and experiencing the goal or the desire that you have, that adds power and experience to your subconscious. Our subconscious cannot distinguish between a couple of different things. Our experiences or other experiences, other people's experiences that we feel strongly about. So if we watch the news and we have a bunch of negative emotions and sadness and fear and doubt and worry associated with watching the news, because, think of the war in Ukraine. If we feel bad about that, even though we're not experiencing any of that personally, all of that doubt, worry, fear gets attached and linked up to doubt, worry, and fear in other areas and aspects of our life in our subconscious. And it's as if we've experienced it ourselves. That's why visualization is so powerful. That's why I want to skip ahead to the physical preparation technique. That's why Olympic athletes, and we just saw a ton of examples of that in the Winter Olympics, use visual practice. We actually saw them at the top of the hill closing their eyes. I was watching snowboarding and skiing. They close their eyes, they rehearse their whole routine, and you can see them mentally preparing and going through their entire routine before they take their chance at whatever sport they're participating in. So the physical preparation and practice technique, visualization, motivational technique is link as many positive emotions to the thing that you want as you possibly can. What motivates and drives you? For most people, it's love, faith, or belief, and sex. Just is what it is. We're human beings. Sex is biological. Faith and love are more spiritual, or belief and love are more spiritual things. And you combine those, and it's like dynamite in putting things into our subconscious. Detachment technique is when we are not attached to the outcome. We set our goal, we set our objective, and we know the end result of what we want, but we don't care how we get there. We let our subconscious go crazy and look out in the universe and find all the different ways that we could get there faster that we couldn't even cognitively or consciously think of. The mantra technique, we'll talk about this several times. I call it affirmations, but you can call it whatever it is. It's making a positive statement of what you want that you feel strong emotion about and saying it over and over and over and over again. The read it out loud strategy or technique is just you have the thing that you want, your goals or objectives. In the morning, as soon as you wake up, you read them out loud. At night, before you go to bed, you read them out loud. It's a great strategy. I've used it to achieve things that I wanted and to move them up on my priority list on a subconscious level without having to consciously think about those things. I used that to stop drinking Diet Pop and to stop drinking coffee following my sudden cardiac arrest. And then I found out 5 years later, after giving up coffee, 2 pots a day, gave up coffee for 5 years, then I discovered in 2017 that it's actually good for the type of blood that I have and for my health. And so I started drinking it again. Just a few cups a day, but I enjoy my coffee again, which is nice because I didn't necessarily love giving it up. And then finally, I think this is our final one. No, read it out loud was our final one. That's either 10 or 11 techniques. I'm not sure I can count very well some mornings. So our action item today is just to pick one of these techniques. Pick one thing, one way to start taking control of your subconscious. One little thing. Pick the one that feels best to you. Try it on for size today. Especially, like I said, there's so many. The cancel, the mantras. You can build these little things into your daily habits and routines, and it makes training your subconscious and prioritizing what's really important to you on a conscious level and what you really want to achieve in your life versus having things just show up in our life willy-nilly, not realizing that on a subconscious level we're actually creating those based on beliefs and past experiences that we've let go into our subconscious or that have just been through repetition programmed into our subconscious. Guess what? If you don't manage your subconscious, the rest of the world will. There's plenty of other entities that want to control us and be our puppeteers and get us doing things that they want us to do without thinking about it instead of what's really best and right for us. I say take back our lives, control what we want, control what we can control, and create what it is that you want in your life. Don't let anyone else tell you what is right for you. All right, any questions? Hit me up. Otherwise, I'll be with you tomorrow. And we're going to talk about, I don't remember, either our unconscious or our superconscious, or we'll probably talk about both tomorrow. All right, have a great day. Any questions? Ask. Otherwise, I'll be with you tomorrow.